Ferenc Liszt was born in 1811 in a small town in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. By the age of 6, Liszt began to play the piano. His father recognized the boy's talent and moved Liszt and his mother to Vienna to further pursue his son's musical education. In Vienna, Liszt studied composition with Antonio Salieri and piano technique with Carl Czerny. By age 11, Liszt was composing and giving concerts. But unexpected tragedy struck. At the age of 16, Liszt's father died. Grief-stricken, Liszt stopped composing and performing. Destitute, Liszt's mother moved him from Vienna to Paris. For the next 5 years, Liszt worked to support his family and even took steps to join the church. But his musical career was about to be given a second breath of life. In 1832, violinist Niccolò Paganini gave a concert in Paris. After witnessing Paganini's virtuosity, Liszt vowed he would become the Paganini of the piano. For the next 5 years, Liszt did nothing but practice the piano, mastering every challenge he could find. At the age of 25, Liszt began to tour again, playing piano unlike any who had come before. He refused to share the stage with any other performer, giving rise to the solo concert, now the standard for any performer. He also played without sheet music to wow his audience with his memorization. After Liszt, no solo performer would use sheet music again. Liszt's compositions were so difficult nobody but Liszt could play them. Beyond their technical difficulty, these pieces were also completely different in form from the music of Beethoven and Mozart. Liszt abandoned classical forms and created a structure which would become known as thematic transformation. This form is still used today in almost every film score. At every concert Liszt would give, women would scream and faint. Kings and queens would beg him to play at their palaces. One German poet called it Lisztomania. Liszt was not only the best pianist, but the greatest showman of his age. In 1848, nationalistic revolutions broke out across Europe. Travel in Europe became too dangerous, and after less than 10 years, Liszt ceased touring. Liszt took up residency in Weimar, Germany, as composer and Kapellmeister extraordinaire. While the nationalistic revolutions failed politically, its ideals lived on in Liszt. He began to compose orchestral and piano music using folk and gypsy melodies from his home country of Hungary. This became known as musical nationalism and would define almost every composer for the rest of the 19th century. In his later years, Liszt was sought out by thousands of students for piano lessons. Unable to teach them all privately, Liszt came up with the idea of teaching a group of students simultaneously. One student would come to the front and play while Liszt and the other students would critique. These would become known as master classes and are continued to be used as teaching tools to this day. Liszt continued to compose, teach, and perform up until his death in 1886. Ferenc Liszt was the embodiment of Romantic-era music. In his 74 years, Liszt created so many innovations that music and performance would never be the same.